Mosses and bryophytes are plants without vascular systems. Vascular systems are like pipe systems within plants that allow transport of water, minerals, and food molecules between different parts of a plant. So bryophytes or mosses are missing these pipe systems. Sometimes they are called lower plants because they are the most primitive land plants on Earth, and they have much simpler structures than gymnosperms and flowering plants. But it doesn't mean that they are any less important in our ecosystems. These were the earliest plants that existed on Earth, and they have a heavy dependence on water given their aquatic origins. As I mentioned, mosses are one of the most ancient land plants on Earth, and they have evolved from aquatic plants more than 500 million years ago, and so that makes them even older than dinosaurs. And today we have Dr. Anna Lagerstroem from ASE to tell us more about bryophytes. So Anna, tell us what have we got here today?
These would be mosses, a dense, thick mat of mosses growing on this rock.
These are all very tiny plants. Do you think they're all the same species?
This looks like very much the same kind of moss on the face of this rock. And then along the top and the sides, we can see that we have some other species coming in.
Wow, so they come in like different shapes?
Definitely, all kinds of different shapes and forms and sizes.
How many species of mosses and bryophytes are there in the world?
In the world, there will be at least 12,000 different species of mosses that we know of, and you find them all over the world, all continents, even Antarctica, anywhere except in salt water.
Ah, okay. Only not in saltwater environments. Okay.
Not very much, no.
They must, play quite a big role in some of our ecosystems.
Oh, definitely. For example, in tropical forests, particularly tropical mountains, they can play a big role in retaining water after heavy downpours. They can soak up the water and keep it for a long time, so preventing floods directly after a heavy downpour. So they only release the moisture slowly.
Yeah, so these are in the real cloud forests of the mountains in these tropical places.
Exactly.
Tell us what's different between the mosses and the flowering plants that we are more familiar with.
Yes, so one very noticeable difference is that mosses are much smaller. They can never grow as tall as the normal plants we're used to. And that's because they don't have what we call vascular tissue, the tubes that transport water and nutrients from the ground up to the leaves.
Oh, so like this is the maximum it could get?
There are mosses that go up to maybe 15 or 20 centimeters in very moist environments, but this is pretty big for a Singapore moss. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, this is perfectly normal moss size.
That's really, really interesting and fascinating.
Yeah.
And since they are not flowering plants, they also have a different way of reproducing, right?
Exactly, they do. They don't produce flowers or fruits, but they produce spores. Here on this rock face, we can see these structures. It's like a stalk with a capsule on it. And this capsule, it contains thousands of tiny spores, which is part of the moss reproductive cycle. So mosses reproduce by these spores and not by seeds.
Ah, so very similar to the ferns.
Yes, exactly. Very similar to the ferns, which also have these spore capsules and spores.
So these are really amazing ancient plants that have survived till today. So where can we find them in Singapore?
So damp places, a great place to start is here in the Evolution Gardens, in the Botanic Gardens. It's very moist and low disturbance, and so it's a great place to start discovering mosses. But you can find mosses in all kinds of places. They grow on tree stems, particularly of old trees, and you can find them in water drains, the small green things growing in the water drains.
Okay, yeah, we should start looking out for them in our urban environment.
Yeah, as soon as you discover mosses and start seeing them. I think you can start seeing them everywhere, so long as you learn to recognize them.
Yeah. They have evolved from aquatic plants more than 500 years ago, which makes them older than dinosaurs. Did I miss out on a million? 500 million years? I missed that out? Oops. Oh, I did. Okay, let's do that again.